guys, it's Shalott. Welcome back to my channel. I'm struggling today. I am having a bit of a struggle bus today. Oh great, Firefox is apparently installing an update and will start in a few minutes. Just what I've always wanted. Anyway, I'm recording on my computer, obviously. Firefox just updated and it just restarted right in front of me. Awesome. Close. This computer doesn't even connect to the internet, so it literally can't do anything. Anyway, I had a bunch of ideas. I had something that I planned to do for this week's video, and I just didn't get the product in time, so I couldn't film that video. And then the other video that I had planned to film for this week, which was Sephora Favorites sampler set, I just haven't gotten around to trying all the scents, to be honest. Like, I forgot several days in a row. And just, I just don't want to bring like kind of like a half-assed review. I want it to be thorough so that, you know, because you're investing your money. It's not cheap. It is expensive. It is a perfume, so it costs money. Okay, I've said that enough. But I still wanted to bring you some sort of content for this week or this weekend. Now it's Sunday, so technically the week's passed, and I will still have one of two videos up for you next Friday, which will either be a perfume review, the perfume that I tried to get for this week, or the Sephora sampler information. So with that being said, I'm going to talk this week about some indie scents, because I've had a couple of comments about people who are interested in trying indies, or they're getting into indies. They don't really know a lot about indie brands, and like, let me be the first to admit that I am not an expert in indie brands of fragrance. For one thing, indie markets change very, very quickly. These are all very small businesses, usually run by one or two people, and their situations can change overnight, and they go out of business, or new businesses pop up, or the same people will start new businesses with different names, with different, partners. So it's a quick moving market. It's quickly changing always. So your favorite, indie shop may be closed one day, but then a new one that you love just as much will open up the next day. And you just have to start trying all over to find scents that you enjoy from each of these places. So with that being said, I'm going to give you my top 3 favorite indie shops. These are all very well established brands that have been around for many years. And although they don't all have the same business model, they do all operate regularly, and you can purchase from them regularly. There's some companies that I know of that I know people enjoy, that people like, and that they may wonder why I'm not including, and it's because I have long-standing grudges with certain people in regards to certain brands, and that's all we're going to say about that. So let's start with my actual favorite. So I grabbed it first. So we're going to talk about Darling Clandestine. Darling Clandestine is probably my favorite indie perfumer, owned and operated by one person, the beautiful, talented, wonderfully, like, she's like an angel. So the shop operates a little bit differently than a lot of brands, where you can't just go in and find a listing for a product and purchase it. It is an Etsy shop, and I will list everything down below. But what is going on right now is that she takes a monthly vote on Facebook. So I'll list her Facebook too, so you can go follow, so that if you are interested in any of her scents, you can participate in the vote and hopefully get your hands on them. She does a monthly vote and then offers the scents that get the most votes as pre-orders for the next month. And that gives her the time to prepare the batches and that sort of thing. So she doesn't have like a general catalog per se, but she does have a selection of fragrances that are offered regularly, as opposed to limited edition or seasonal fragrances that would be only offered during certain times of the year. Now, her scents are not what you would think of perfume. When you think of perfume, you think of floral or citrus or aquatic or, you know, gourmand, blah, blah. That's not Darling Clandestine. That's not Darling Clandestine at all. Not at all. What it is a fragrance that is so unique that you're never ever going to smell like anybody else in the room. Even if they're wearing the same perfume, you're not going to smell the same. My favorite Darling Clandestine scent I have here, this is the full size bottle. It is called Supernova Sway. Okay, so she doesn't do the traditional fragrance notes, but she does offer a type of fragrance description to help potential customers navigate the choices, right? I'm looking like a hot tamale, and by hot tamale I mean kind of shriveled and wet. So this, again, these aren't like the notes, like she doesn't list things in traditional notes because that's just not the way that she does things, but this will help anyone who is interested in trying Darling Clandestine fragrances. So I will also link this list down there too. So again, my personal favorite from her general catalog scents is Supernova Sway, which is the one I'm going to talk to you about. That's what I'm going to tell you about. So there's so many good ones, but there's so, you can get a little bit frightened by reading these descriptions. So I think what you really should know about purchasing from Darling Clandestine is that everything you get is really going to be pleasant to your nose. I mean, 99% of the time. Even if it sounds kind of scary in the description, it's not going to be scary on your skin. Your skin's going to love it. Your nose is going to love it. Anyway, I'm just saying that to take up time as I scroll through to get to the S's. See, she's added a lot of the newer ones, so that's really good because there's a lot of the newer scents that I have that I didn't know when I was talking about when I was doing my collection video. There were a lot of the scents that I didn't know the actual like descriptions of, so I'm glad that she's added those. So the Supernova Sway, if black metallic had a fragrance, it would be this. Dark and bright again. Deep musk streaked with mint, black resins, and subtle flashes of orchid and buttery honeysuckle. It's in the Sweet Deep, which is basically just her way of saying that this is a very rich fragrance. It's a unisex fragrance. It's she says she lists this at boss level 8, which, I mean, if you're a gamer, you know, like boss level increases as difficulty increases, but it's not a difficult fragrance to where it's just more intense than a lot of others. Considered a general catalog item, although it's not being offered for sale right now. What I think of when I wear Supernova Sway, oh gosh, it's on my nose. I do that every time. Oh my god, it's so good. I grew up in the country, but I am a city. I am a city person at heart. I love the city. I love the smell of hot asphalt. I love the smell of rain on the city, on rain on asphalt. And when I smell this, what I think of is a sudden, because I live in Las Vegas, and I think of like a flash storm where a sudden sweeping of rain comes through and everything's drenched, and then that breeze that follows through, and all of a sudden for like half a second, half a moment in time, the city smells so clean until it starts smelling like city again. And that's what I think about when I think about this. And it's like I'm gonna cry because it's so powerful, and it's like such a poignant, beautiful scent, and I cannot wait till the day she offers it again so I can stock up some more. Anyway, So moving on, the next one I've talked about, of course, his Supernova Sway, I literally just said that, is Solstice Scents. And in my review for the Bourgeois, Hoja de Cuba, in my review for the Maison Bourgeois Hoja de Cuba fragrance, I talked about Old Havana being the best tobacco scent on the market. I haven't opened this, is the rollerball version. I haven't opened this because I have a small vial spray of the alcohol-based perfume, but this is my favorite scent from Solstice Scents. Again, it is general catalog, so you should be able to get it most times out of the year unless she has temporarily sold out, but it is delicious. It's so good. So good. It's like sipping a mojito on a beach bar in Cuba, and there's two old men speaking in Spanish near you smoking cigars. Like, that's like, it's anytime a fragrance can truly evoke like a visual in me where I see what I see in the scent aligns exactly with the fragrance that I feel and I smell. That's when I know that it's like something special. Like, it's really something special. And Solstice Scents has a lot of amazing fragrances, and they have a lot of amazing fragrances I haven't even tried. And I wish I could try more, especially now that she's offering eau de parfum, but you need that quan, bitch, you know? Anyway, with that being said, I highly, highly recommend you head over to her scent because she has a very large scent. Did I say head over to her scent? I meant head over to her site because she has a very large general catalog as well as limited edition scents that may not be sold out yet, and so you probably can find something that you're gonna love. And you can also purchase sample packs of the fragrances. Solstice Scents and my next, you can purchase sample packs. You can try before you buy the full size or commit to a full size, but I would so suggest that you add Old Havana into your sample set, or even if you buy something else, you can have the choice of a sample at checkout. Try it. It's so good. Highly recommended. And Solstice Scents is wonderful. The Karen, I believe is her name, that runs the company, is wonderful. She has a beautiful Instagram. I will link that down below because she's posting beautiful pictures all the time, like of nature, of her fragrances, of her inspirations, and I really enjoy her feed. It gives me a lot of creative inspo. And then the last one is Alchemia. This is Alchemia. Alkemia. They're on Etsy. They are not in their own website. They are still on Etsy, but they have a very large general catalog. It's kind of an overwhelming general catalog, which is why I definitely recommend taking the advantage of the sample set. Or they also have an offer where you can buy three full-size fragrance for $30. They normally run between $12 and $15 a piece. There are some limitations to that though, so that's just an FYI. This brand has been around for quite some time, and there's kind of a mystery, like there's an air of mystery around this brand. The person or people who run it are kind of mysterious, not in a bad way. They just don't really put themselves out into social media that sort of way. There's also been a lot of suggestions that celebrities, well-known athletes, models, people in the public eye have worn Alchemia scents, either catalog scents or custom blend scents. So what you're getting when you purchase this brand is like truly, you're getting like a luxury perfumer type of level scent. And I'm not saying that anyone else in indie scents is not that level, because everyone who can freaking make a perfume that other people like, that's like boss level. That's like final boss level, you know. But Alchemia has very their fragrances tend to be very influenced by Middle Eastern perfumery. So you've got a lot of spicy scents, a lot of scents that contain precious ingredients like frankincense. I'm thinking like frankincense, myrrh, saffron, oud, just these very like this true kind of Middle Eastern, or like the true like sensuality of fragrance coming through. So that's why the scent that I've chosen for you today as one of my favorites, but not my favorite, but what I'm suggesting to you today is one that's a lot easier to wear than some of the other scents, and it is their Moroccan Tea fragrance. Now, this is general catalog, but I did look recently and it seemed like it might be being discontinued. So if that's the case, I'll try to write it down below. There's also one called Persian Tea Room that's still general catalog, and the main difference between this and that is this is a little bit fresher, where that's a little bit more musky. But this, oh my gosh, it's such a gorgeous scent. It's so fresh. It's like, it's just calming. It's easy to wear. It smells good and it makes you feel good when you wear it, which I think is the most important thing in any perfume, whether it's high-end or indie or niche or luxury or mainstream or drugstore or a body spray or anything. If you feel good when you're wearing it, like that's what's important, and that's the only thing that matters, like not the price tag or where it came from or who you purchased it from or anything like that. Do you feel good with that fragrance on? Because that confidence is going to show through and it's going to be attractive to everyone, and that more than anything is going to get you compliments, whether or not your perfume smells like the best smelling thing in the world or like dog poo. Nobody's perfume smells like dog poo. I've never smelled anybody with, I've smelled people who smell like dog poo, but it wasn't because of their perfume. Okay, it was because anyway, so I'm really suggesting that you try out any one of these or all three of these brands. I'm not making any commissions or getting anything from suggesting these to you. None of these brands even know that I am making a video about their products, and I'm not going to try to get product from them in exchange. This is literally my love for these brands and these fragrances, that I want people to be able to have a jumping off point when they're trying to navigate the indie fragrance world, the indie fragrance market. So if you love indie fragrances and you have a favorite brand, I'd love for you to mention them down below. Tell me what your favorite brand is. Tell me what your favorite scent from them is. If your favorite brand is BPAL, Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab, you can just skip it. We're not going there. But just don't, I mean, you can list it for other people, certainly, but don't try to tell me that I need to try them, because it's not going to happen. So anyway, I hope that this was in some way enjoyable and makes up a little bit maybe for like the lack of content over the past few days, because I've been just really struggling with a whole lot of stuff. So yeah. That's it. I'm going to go like rub Supernova Sway all over my body now, and probably just cry for a while. So in a good way, because it's just so beautiful. It's like that beautiful. It literally brings tears to my eyes. So anyway, I hope to see you on the next one. I hope to see you next week, and I will have another perfume review, a full review, much like the one I did for the Berduez, I still can't pronounce her name, that type of fragrance. So if you like that, it's going to be similar to that, but it's going to be a little bit more mainstream fragrance. So you may want to check it out. And I will see you again soon, very soon. Okay? Bye.